Hey guys, Metroid Prime Fan 18 here again, and this is the rant I said I was going to do before I had to leave, for class today. And ow, shit, sorry about that. This rant is going to be on what I like to call game review bandwagoners, meaning people who, how can I describe this? People who simply jump on the bandwagon of many so-called professional game reviewers. Meaning, people who rate games perfectly, like 10 out of 10, 5 stars, 5 out of 5, whatever, just because so-called professionals did, without even formulating their own opinion. Now, this is the specific reason why I don't trust any, or listen to any online reviewers anymore. Not that I ever did that much in the first place, but this is one of the main reasons why games such as like Gears of War or Halo are said to be overrated, because it's just completely swarmed by this young generation of these, today's generation of gamers, like, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, whatever. I'm not saying they're all like this, but for the people who do, I mean, it's mainly made up of them who rate those games 10 out of 10 simply because professionals did. And professionals just, they just humped the shit out of that game when they were rating it. A lot of them gave it perfect scores, near perfect scores. I don't think I ever saw any bad ones. I saw like an average one, and that was the lowest one. And then when Halos 2 and 3 came out, the bandwagoners kept rating them perfectly simply because they thought that since the prequel was perfect, they automatically thought that the sequels were going to be. Without even seeing them or playing them for the first time, they automatically just rate them 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever. Because they're always saying, oh man, this game is going to rock. Halo 2 is going to rock simply because Halo 1 did. Just because a prequel is good doesn't mean sequels are going to be good. I could name an example if I could remember one. Well, this isn't really a sequel per se, it's actually a prequel, but it came out after the original and all, but the storyline was set before the original. And that was Perfect Dark Zero, which came out on the 360. It was like one of the launch titles for the 360. And compared to the original Perfect Dark on the N64, that game was mediocre. It was okay in points. Like, the gameplay, I will say, was good, and the graphics were pretty good for the 360. But for one thing, the story, and I'm not a story guy mainly, but the story in that game was just so ridiculous. And compared to the original, Perfect Dark Zero had a lot to live up to, and it just failed to exceed or even match expectations. And the people, I have seen many games, not just Halo or Gears of War, but other games that simply because reviewers rated them high, these bandwagoners rated it high as well. I know that I would not see a game with that many 10 out of 10 ratings from honest opinions. Because, in my opinion, none of the Halo games are worth a 10 out of 10. Halo 1 maybe comes to close because it was the original and all that, and it was like introduction to a new game or whatever, but I'd still only give that like an 8 or 9. Halo 2, Halo 3, not 10 out of 10. Maybe 9, but, that's just my opinion. But this is one of the precise reasons why no one cares about like IGN or GameSpot or any other online reviewers, GameTrailers.com maybe even though I have to say, in my opinion, they are probably the most trustworthy out of all the online reviewers that I've seen. I still don't listen to them all the time, but occasionally I will, because I think they're the most honest ones. But GameSpot and IGN, totally biased. Take Killzone, for example. You know why Killzone was said to be rated so low? Because it came out at the same time Halo 2 did. And at the time, Halo 2 was just getting 10s out of 10s everywhere. Left and right, up and down, inside and out. 10 out of 10s for that game everywhere. And then there were some people who said that Killzone was overrated. How? When it got a 6.9 and a 7.5? He was obviously comparing that to Halo. Another thing you should never do when you're comparing or when you're reviewing games is I don't care if it's a sequel. Do not compare a game to its prequel. You know, that's another problem I've seen. Perfect example here was a game called Deus Ex Invisible War, which is a sequel to the extremely popular game Deus Ex. Many people said they hated it compared to the original, and that was the only reason they rated it so low, comparing it to the original. But that's a different subject. That's a future rant I said I'd do a while back. That'll be one coming very soon after this. But, I mean, it's just the number of these people I have seen rating games so high without even... I mean, they don't even formulate their own opinions, like I said. They never play the game for themselves. They never see enough of the game. And some people say, oh, well, I saw a trailer of it online. I saw some gameplay video of it online. I listened to this guy. Well, you're still listening to someone else. Professional or not, you're still not actually playing the game for yourself. That's what you have to do. I mean, if you want to review... I don't have an account on any review site, because I just don't want to bother with it. That's why I just review games here, verbally. But, and like I said, it's mainly this younger generation of today's gamers who, I mean, they're basically growing up on the 360 and the regular Xbox and all PS3 and all that. If they see anyone rate this game, you know, give it a high rating or even a low rating, they'll just rate it whatever the professionals said. I've seen games that have had constant 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 ratings that I hated. I've seen games with constant 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10 ratings that I loved. I mean, for example, like I said in my Q&A, Hexen 64, that was a game that just got blasted. Not as much as the PlayStation version, mind you, but still pretty harassed on, but I liked it. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best. I mean, it was choppy in places, but it was still good. But that's the thing. I mean, even Metacritic falls victim to the same group of people. And fortunately, however, they're actually a lot more balanced out when it comes to honest opinions. You know, about games, especially like Halo or Gears of War or whatever. And they give honest opinions to games that critics hated. Same with movies. You know, some movies critics hate, people love. Some movies they love, or critics love, people hate. But the bottom line here is, if you're going to review games, I don't care if it's, you know, here on YouTube or VO, Rever, GameFAQs. That's another site that falls victim to Bandwagoners, by the way. GameSpot, IGN, Game Trailers, whatever. If you're going to review games for a site or wherever, then play the game first. Do not just watch a video on gameplay footage. Don't watch a trailer. Don't listen to anyone else. I mean, that's another thing. It's called opinions. Everyone has their own opinion. Even if your opinion's the same as someone else's, it's still your own. That's why you have to play the game first to formulate your own opinion about the game. Otherwise, you're just stealing other people's opinions and saying they're your own. And that's I don't know why you'd want to do that, really. I just don't know. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it's just play the game before you review it. You know, if you own the game, it's a perfect example. That's what I do. I mean, I've never reviewed any game so far that I haven't played, and I'm never going to. So that's my rant on this particular group of people. And with that, Metroid signing off.